Hey, everybody, it's Coach LT here, and welcome to the Black Girl Loading Podcast. Today, we have an amazing episode for you. As I told you before, we are dedicated to honoring Black-owned businesses. And so, the Black Girl Loading Podcast each month is going to highlight Black woman-owned businesses. And I am super excited today that we have three phenomenal women who own businesses, and we are going to talk to them about their journey to business ownership. And I happen to know them, and they are part of an amazing community of friendship and sisterhood. And as you know, here at Black Girl Loading, that's what we are all about. And so not only are they building businesses and building generational wealth, they are building community, and they are helping families in that together. So I'd like to introduce you to our guests today on Black Girl Loading. We have Nicole Brown and Amira Ward, and they are the co-founders of Rose Valley Senior Living Facility in Fort Washington, Maryland. And we have Kalitha Penn, better known as Coco, and she is the founder of Life's Indulgences, curated by Coco, which is an event planning company. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. I'm excited to have you here. And so I wanted to tell a little story before we jump right in. So I've known Nicole and Kalitha for quite some time now. We go back to our JMU days. We get back to our times in Harrisonburg. I know you guys are going to be sick of me saying that on this podcast, but our village is strong, and we carry relationships and our connections from way back. And I met Amira through Nicole. I've known Amira for quite some time as well. And to watch these ladies on their journey and to have a front row seat at their evolution has been absolutely amazing. It gives me great pleasure to bring all of you here so you can talk about what you're doing now and how you are loading. Thank you all for joining me. Let's talk where you are. I'm going to kick us off, and anybody jump in. This is a conversation. You're all here. You're all business owners, but you didn't start that way. So let's talk about where you began and how you got here. What drives you to be an entrepreneur? What drives your entrepreneurial spirit?
Well, I honestly 100% was born and bred in the direction of you need to be a business owner. My father was very, very adamant about if you want to really get something in life, you need to be the person that's in charge of your own destination. Unfortunately, he has passed, but his desire and goal for me is burning, and it has burned in me since he set that fire going. I've always wanted to be my own boss. I've always wanted to be the person that is making the decisions because, as women, we make these big decisions for companies and, other people all the time. And, we get a little portion of thank you, but it's not that feeling of you're doing something for yourself. You're doing something for your family. And, it's just important if you really, really want to make a impression, for me, in my personal opinion, if you really want to make an impression and have control over your own destiny, then it's only one way to try to kind of grab that.
That's right. That's right. Build your own dream, not somebody else's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I can just add, I am 100% behind what Coco says. I worked for a company for 14 years. They make your schedule, they tell you what to do, what to work on. And for me, I just didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to make my own schedule, make my schedule around my kids, spend more time at home. So I think that definitely was a driver for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I can piggyback off of that too. I think I've always had I always call it like the hustle mentality and just, always just making it work. and not being held back from other people putting limitations on you. And in Mira and the others, I've worked for companies, I've been laid off with no day's notice, and it takes away the control that you have for your own livelihood and destiny and stuff. So I really think that owning your own purpose, and anywhere with anything that you want to do, and get your thoughts out, just be heard. It's very hard, especially as Black women, just to be seen and heard.
Absolutely. I agree. There's nothing like something that is your own, something that you create, build, craft, right? And it's like saying life that happened that said now is the time. Because we always say timing is everything, right? And you go through life, and like I said, you had jobs, different things happen in these jobs. You work these corporate gigs, these 9 to 5s. Was there something, an epiphany? You woke up one morning and was like, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to do my own thing. What happens? What drove you to start your own business?
I think Amira can tell this story better for us. What got us here?
Because you have an assisted living facility, and that's I mean, that's no easy feat, and we'll get into detail about what it is to stand that up, because it's not something that you just do overnight. So yeah, so
Mhm.
let's talk about that. What drove you to that?
So I think my moment was definitely working at Red Peg. Nicole and I worked together, and we were sitting in my office, and we were working on probably some project and something that we probably didn't want to work on. And I think Nicole may have mentioned something about um, doing something on our own. And I think right then she mentioned the senior living and how there's a need for it. And I think both of us gone through it with our parents that, were sick at the end, and having watched that process of finding, someone that can help you take care of a elderly that needs a lot of work. And while we're still at work, it just clicked, and I was like, huh. I was like, this is something we should do. And I remember it, and I can envision the moment when we had this conversation. I don't think I'll ever forget it, because it was just such a moment that, I will probably remember. And whenever I'll tell the story, I think that's where it started for me.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that we both just looked at each other and it just clicked. Like we had been talking about other things, other, like pondering things. And I think now that we bring this up, I think especially for Amir and I, we've been in, like marketing and entertainment and things like that. And because of how, the companies that we've worked for has kind of, treated us at certain times, and any drop of dime, it's like, wait, but we're not even doing anything meaningful to life. It's not something that's life saving or anything like that. And so we were looking for, I think that just even thinking and coming across assisted living, it just put more purpose back into what we're doing, and we can do it for ourselves.
Right. Doing something rewarding. And
Mhm.
a lot of people are like, I need stability. But we're seeing right now, are these jobs really stable, right? It's stability. It used to be, you get your good government job and you retire, but that's not even the case anymore. So where is
No.
stability, right? You got to build your own thing. So, and as we are getting older, our parents are getting older, people are aging, and so it is a thought process. That's pretty awesome that you get to help people. That's rewarding. You get to do something you can feel good about. That's good. What about you,
Mm.
Kalitha? What drove you? What moment? You and I had some conversations about your career, your job, and you did a whole life change, a big shift.
I think mine is kind of twofold. I went to college, and it was a predominantly um, white school, which I love. I have no problem with. In the area that I was raised from, there is a lot of, black or white. There was back then. It's more multicultural now, but then, you saw black people doing things, but never really having their own like that. And I remember graduating from college and going to visit my sorority sister in Charlotte. And when we went, she took us to my first spa. And so when we went to the spa, I had never, ever in my life seen Black women working together, having great conversation. It was the best feeling that I had ever felt. And the sad part is I don't remember the name of the business. That's sad. But I remember that feeling, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I really want this. Like, they're like making you beautiful, you're getting your hair done, you're doing all the things that you really want to do. And also you're having great conversation, people being supportive. And it was Black owned, all Black women in there. It was something that I had never seen before. And that was probably in 1997. And so I have been chasing that feeling since then. And my mom is a steward, and she's always hosting. So that's just in my blood. And trying to tie all of that together to get that feeling and that vibe. I've always just wanted to do that. And then I worked for an amazing company. I had an amazing boss for probably about 16 years, and he retired. In that retirement, I received a new boss, and he's fine, but his way of managing was completely different. And I found myself getting gaslit, to be perfectly honest, through the entire process. Some of the things that he was doing, I kind of knew that they were wrong, but I still allowed it to go on because, that's what we do. We suck it up, we take it, it's a good job. And, nobody told me that jumping out there and trying to find my career was something that was just crazy. And so we got to the point through the job that I literally had a breakdown. I had to take some time off work. It was really, really bad. But through that time, I said, I'm still going to go back because that's the right thing to do. And I did for probably about 9 months. And in the course of that 9 months, it got worse to the point where I prayed and I said, God, my heart, my soul, I'm trying here. If it's not meant to be, then, work it out so it doesn't happen. And through the process of figuring out what was best for me, what was best for my mental health, I decided to go ahead and resign for that job and try to chase my passion because I'm almost 50. And doing it the other way for 40 some years, that was the responsible thing to do. And I'm proud of what I did. But I was always facing the fact that A, I wanted to have my own business. That's always been my drive. And B, I wanted to have a job that gave me a feeling of purpose and respect and something that I know that I'm amazing at. And that's just what I decided to do. I went to Las Vegas and fell in love with the non-strip area because I had only done Vegas on the strip. So I didn't know. And then that one time after I prayed, it was in October, I went there, I prayed about it. We went there and coincidentally, we went with people that took us off the strip so we could really see Vegas. And me and my wife both really just fell in love without even speaking to each other. And on the last day of the trip, we got there and she was like, I could move here. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been thinking it the whole time. And that's what we did. We decided, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're going to try it, see where it leads us. Thankfully, I did follow that compass in my heart and that voice in my head from God telling me, you got this. I blessed you with this talent. You should be using it. And so now I'm completely excited about the choices that I make. I wake up every day, excited about what's going to happen and how I can make somebody else as excited as I am.
Oh, I love that so much. I mean, that is the true definition. We've been talking about letting go and choosing you.
Mhm,
And that is the true definition of that. You let go of all those things that were holding you back and you
mhm.
chose yourself.
Thank
And
you.
that is something that's so hard for many of us to do. And you even said, like, would you say you're almost 50? That
Mhm,
doesn't have a barrier around success. There's no barrier to choosing you as long as you put the steps in place and you do it. And you didn't do it overnight. You had some things
mhm,
that you had to work through. Like you said, you took time off, you went back, you thought you could tough it out, and you realized you couldn't do that. And that
mhm,
is part of the journey. And, same, Amir and Nicole talked about, you're
mhm,
in these jobs and you realize that at the drop of a hat, they could decide they don't need you there anymore.
mhm,
And then what do you do? Right? If we learned nothing else from the pandemic and from what's happening now is that you need a second stream of income, if nothing else. You
mhm,
need, a side hustle, right? We've all got to have a hustle. And so I think life is teaching us things.
mhm,
Life is teaching us many things. When things are unclear and unsure in my head, my mom used to always say, "Give it to God." She said, but that is awesome. I love that story. So let's talk about your businesses and let's talk about what they actually are, what you actually do in these businesses. Because I'm excited. Now we got your purpose, and that is what I love. All of you are doing something with a purpose, something that you want to make people feel good and you want to help people. And that is in the spirit of community. And I love that so much. So let's talk about like what your businesses are actually doing. So Nicole and Amira, talk to me about your business. First of all, let's talk about where you're located. Just like give everybody all the details, your name, the location, the services that you provide, all the things. So everyone knows where to find you and what you're doing.
Yeah, so we are Rose Valley Senior Living. It is located, our first facility, we will have more, but our first facility is in Fort Washington, Maryland. Assistant living, and we provide a daily assistance to seniors that just need that extra guidance and extra assistance, whether it's, I just totally blanked, medicine assistance, helping with their daily activities that they have to do each day. We have one in Fort Washington, and yeah, we are getting started. It took us over a year for the process because it has to be licensed and a lot of inspections done, and the journey has been very long, but we are here now, and we're just looking down for our residents to fill the bids, and we're ready to open.
You have everything, you're up, you're ready to put people in there now. So you're good now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're about
All
to
right.
have a nice grand opening with the red bow and the scissor. I'm so excited. That's what I've been talking about. So yeah, we're definitely ready.
All right. All right. I can't wait. I know this has been a long time coming, and I know the process has been long. I know we had
Yeah.
talked about all the permits and all the, the processes, and then, you think you're ready, and then all of a sudden something else comes up and you're not. But when you're in the business of caring for people, there's a lot involved there. So that's completely understandable. But I am excited about the opening, and I just can't wait. And there are so many people that need places for their loved ones to go, places they can trust, places that are good, places. And so I just know that this is going to be successful. And I love, Nicole, the way you started that out with, you said this is our first location. We're going to speak these things into existence, right? We speak growth and prosperity. We know that this is just going to be your first location. We know that there are many more to come. Absolutely. Absolutely. Letha, let's talk about your business. Tell us all the things that we need to know.
Okay, I am an event and party planner. I'm also an interior designer. So I love anything with design. I love being creative, creating sets, creating vibes, and just where you can walk into a different place. I love to transform an area to make it look like, oh my gosh, this is my kitchen. That is the best and most important thing for me, because the experience that people get from it is what I remember the most. I'm lucky enough to have recordings of people when they're walking in or they're excited, and when it's over and we partied up the night. I love to get their final thoughts, and they always say it was such a great experience. I was not expecting it, and that's my goal. I just always want people to come out and have a great time. I've been building this business step by step. We do travel to try. I have an amazing team that we travel and try to transform other spaces. However, I am very excited about my Be My Guest package of my product. And that is where I'm inviting you to come out and stay, a small group of your friends, 5 to 6 people. I do have a home, consider my oasis. So I've decorated it and did the vibe. So when you're there, you're at a fully immersive experience from the moment you come off the airport. We're there to pick you up. When you walk in the door, you have drinks ready for you. We have full concierge service. We also have transportation service if you are inclined to have that. I believe it's a lovely property, and it's big and spacious. So I invite people to come out as a part of the package maybe on a Wednesday night. I'm staying until possibly Monday morning, depending on your flights, because there are a lot of flights out early Sunday night. So it holds about 6 people comfortably where they have their own space. If you need additional people to come as well, there's always ways to work that out. And including in the package, not only do you have this amazing, you also have a meal included per day, 1 meal a day cooked, whether or not it's a brunch or however it's curated to you, your needs, your wants, and how you want a vacation. Because some people want to just chill in their room and be left alone. Some people want to sit by the pool, or it's just got different areas so you can get exactly what you want. I'm very excited about the way that it's designed and the feel that you get when you walk inside. And also included in that package is a celebration, whether it's a brunch or a cookout for up to 60 people. So if you're staying there, you want to come and have a party, that is the main goal, because that's what I really want to do, is throw this huge party for you. And there is also a box that I call my curator's box. And when you walk in, that's basically just a photo gallery area there are several different displays for you that are curated directly for you, whether or not you love Mickey Mouse or however. We're going to set it up and design it. So, if you want a hookah lounge, however you want it set up, it's definitely curated to you, your wants and desires. So I'm definitely looking for people that are interested in like launching their brand. I would love to do brand parties or, book signing parties or anything like that. So where you and your family and friends can come and hang out. You have a place to stay. It's just a really good vibe. And I've had a lot of positivity from it. We're having our first launch June 9th, where it's the complete package. I've had smaller packages, but we're going to do a complete package on June 9th. And I'm going to do that live so everybody can see some of the things going on. So I'm really excited about rolling out this package. It's my baby. It's what I've been dreaming of. And I think the people will be very excited and surprised about the experience that they receive.
Oh my goodness, sign me up. I'm ready.
I know.
It sounds lovely. Actually.
I have to say that I have experienced this property and it is even better than what she's saying. So
Okay.
just want to say
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Next flight to Vegas. Okay.
I know. Toya, what about your book signing? Come on, let's do
Look,
it.
the chair is spinning. You're gonna see nothing right here. I'm already at the airport. Okay, it's done. Kalitha, share your website information so people will know how to book and where to find you.
Definitely. My website is www.lifesindulgence.com. No S on indulgences. It's lifesindulgence.com. And we're up and running. I have to admit, I am horrible with internet. My friend Nicole has told me that if I really want to drive my business home, I need to get on the internet and start promoting myself. So we are building content now and loading it up. And I'm really excited about doing a lot of live stuff to show maybe the process of how we're going to do this June 9th theme. It's a Michael Jackson 50th birthday party for my wife. I will admit she is the client and I'm going to go all out because, it's her 50th and I want it to be
That's on
as
my
elaborate and
calendar.
dope
I
as
forgot.
possible. That's where you can
All right.
find me. I'm on all platforms now, Facebook, Instagram, and I think the other one, maybe TikTok, but that's not my job. That's part of my other team. So please excuse the fact that I don't know all this.
Look, if you got a team, that's good stuff. Social media takes all day. Nicole and Amir, share your website information as well.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll take this, America. I'm sure.
Cool
This
to
is
see
my
you.
part of the partnership.
Thank you.
Our website is rosevalleySeniorLiving.com. That's rosevalleySeniorLiving.com. And we're also on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, Rose Valley Senior Living on all platforms. And we are welcoming any referrals. If you have any lovely seniors that are in your family or friends or anything, then definitely send them our way. We also have a referral package too. So if you do refer someone, then, you'll definitely have a really good, I wouldn't say gift, but it'll be beneficial.
Yeah.
It'll be worth your time. Just reach out to us and we can tell you the details.
Now, let me ask you a question about that. This is assisted living, correct? So people can come there and there are people on site that will help care for them, right? Because I want to make sure there's clarity so folks understand the difference between, because my aunt lives in like a 50+ community where they have to be able to function on their own versus an assisted living facility where there is nursing staff that helps care for them.
Yes, correct. They cannot be on their own. So once they
Okay,
cannot be able to care for themselves and live alone, then that's when they come to our facility.
excellent. That's good to know. I've got some questions that I want to ask you all as we prepare to wrap up. I want to talk to you all about how your current businesses that you are building, that you are growing, how you feel like they will ultimately help to build and influence positivity in the Black community, and what your thoughts are about that as you, as business owners, what you feel like your responsibility is to your community being business owners.
I feel like people ask me what I want. I giggle and say, I've always loved Cheers, the TV show. And people come to me over and over because they know that I represent a level of not only class and sophistication, but also I promote this vibe of creativity and love and acceptance of one another. I feel like I try to portray that in my everyday life. And that's definitely the goal. If someone's having a party that I'm a part of, then, if I'm hosting it, then I'm hosting it. But even if I'm not hosting it, then I'm walking around trying to find someone that doesn't look like they're having a good time, because I think that people too often sit in there with themselves and people don't approach them at gathering. You're coming to a party, you probably want to participate, but because you don't talk or anything like that, I love to find someone in the room that doesn't look like they're having a great time, just to go and talk to them, find out what their story is, because throughout this whole journey, every time I hear somebody's story and I hear what they dream about, what they love, what they're passionate about, I can talk to somebody for hours for that, and because I think people just sometimes need people to care. That's always what I want to portray. I'm not sure if I answered the question, I may have, but my primary goal is to be a place of refuge, peace, and tranquility, creativity. I just want to be a vessel for that, for my community. And if I can accomplish that, then I have accomplished everything that I want my legacy to be about.
I love it.
So for us, I'm going to talk for myself first. I think that, community is such a broad word.
Yeah.
As you mentioned at the beginning, community for me is family, is friends, and then there's the outside community. And I think that we, for our own community, our family, I think we are showing them what we can do, what we believe in. Our kids see us work really, really hard. I think when I say I have to go back to Rose Valley, my kids always say again. And that's second home almost to get it ready, going. It takes a lot of work. And they see how much sweat and tears we put into this business. And I think that in itself is one thing that I wanted to give them. And then community, obviously a senior living community is in itself very, very rewarding. We obviously want to have people there that come in and that feel like this is where I can have my mom. This is where I can have my dad. It feels like home, like a second. I think Nicole and I went to a lot of different places before we even started our own, just to see. And there's a lot of places out there that where I was thinking to myself, not to be mean, but I probably would not want to place my loved ones in those places. So I think for us, we wanted a place where people walk in and they feel that who we hire will be that motherly person that will take care of the elderly like they do for their own parents. That's very, very important to us. Yes, it exists out there in the community, but I think ours, and I believe this wholeheartedly, is going to be different. I think when the surveyor came out and she walked in, she's like, wow, this is a different feel. And that's exactly what we needed to hear, because that was our goal. We wanted people to walk in and feel like it's a home. These people care. So I think we got this. And I wholeheartedly believe that we will give that to the community.
Love it.
And I also have been to Rose Valley. I've walked through those doors and felt that same feeling. So I'm very proud of both of these women because they have been hustling, cleaning, doing every, I mean, on the ground, cleaning everything, making sure it looks perfect. And the fact that they want it to look so perfect. And you walk in, you get this homey feeling, a bright space. It's very lovely. It's way more than I expected when I walked in, you know. So I'm very proud of them. Very, very proud of them. And I feel like you got it too, Amira. And I would definitely use it when they were on their journey of finding places and going through. Their main concern was, I would not want my parent to be here, or it's just not what
About
I'm
what you
looking
want for
for.
your own folks.
Their desire, their determination, and their passion is real.
And we looked at a lot of houses, a lot, to
Yeah.
say
Some
the
of them were
least.
even for like existing businesses that were for sale, and just the conditions and other, situations that we walked into was like they need a Rose Valley. Absolutely. And that's why we want to, eventually grow because, these are residential smaller homes, but it's so much need and so much need for good care as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know going through that when my mom was living, when she was transitioning out of the hospital, we were preparing to move her into hospice. And we just needed a temporary place while we were getting the house ready to bring her back home. And literally having her in a facility for a week was the worst experience ever. And she was there for a week. And we were there every day, literally from sunup to sundown. The one day that we weren't there that morning, it was a complete disaster. And I could not believe it. It was so bad. So I completely understand the need for premium care is so great. So when you all said that you were doing this, like I was elated because from my own personal experience, from what we went through with mom and from what I've seen other people go through, I I can only imagine how other families might feel as well. And knowing you two, I know that this is a top tier facility. So I expect nothing less from you. I know that. So I have one last question to ask you. So you've shared with me how you feel like community, how you feel your business builds community and how you feel that it shapes community. So before we sign off, I want to ask you to share with our viewers if there's a person here that's watching, that's listening, that is thinking about starting their own business and they're apprehensive. They're nervous about it. Maybe they are a little older. They don't know, if they should rip that band-aid off, whatever they're doing. I'd like to hear from each of you. What is your advice to someone who is thinking about starting their own business, but they haven't jumped?
Mhm.
Can I just
Oh, go
say
ahead.
that that is so easy for me to
Mhm.
answer that. Just do it. I tell you that Nicole and I probably talked about starting a business for much longer than it took for us to get to the point where we are today. And it took us a year. So you can only imagine how long we've been discussing how we want to be our own bosses and how we want to make a difference. Do not think you'll ever get to that perfect business that you have in your head. Just start. That's really the hardest part, is just to start. And I think that once we got over that hurdle, it's been going ever since. We didn't stop.
Yeah.
And we always wonder, why did we take so long? That's time that we could have been even further along. And since then, we look back and laugh at it because now I use it in so many different scenarios when people are overthinking something or struggling something. I'm like, just start. That's all you have
Yeah.
to do. The whole holding you back, the nervousness of the whole process, just start. And then it gets easier and easier and easier. And you're going to learn, like Amir said, you're not going to be perfect. We're not perfect. We're learning every single day. I've learned so many things, especially through this process of even getting our facility up to speed and everything from, I think I'm a plumber, I think I'm a housekeeper, a lawyer, so many hats that but honestly, like even with us, even having to get certain certifications as well and having a healthcare background it's very interesting. You'll be amazed how many certifications we have now. um, but yeah, just definitely just start and take one step at a time and just mark off each chapter because it's going to be a lot of chapters.
And can I add one more thing? I tell you that I used to be that one person I would always say, "Are you sure? Have you thought about this?" I just resigned my job. I do not have another job lined up, but I am so confident that Nicole and I will do such amazing things in no time now that we finally started, that I believe that, you know what, I don't need another boss. We can do this.
Yeah, you've got to have faith because if you don't believe in you, then who is going to believe in you? I say that all the time. If you don't believe in your vision and your dream and your goal and in your product and what you have, how are you going to convince other people to believe in it, right? And that that is so true. Absolutely. Kalitha, what would you say?
I would definitely piggyback off of them. Just do it. Trust your own instinct, trust your own passion, trust your own guide. The prayers that you're putting through, they will be heard. Just put your all into it. As long as you're putting your heart and passion into it and you're comfortable, even if it's a negative experience. The fact that now I am the person that is making my own decision to choose what direction that I'm making, then if it's a negative, I can deal with that because nothing is going to be easy. Anything worth having is worth working hard for. So don't listen to other people either. Don't let other people get in your ear. I think that has been my biggest holdback of me just listening to people saying, yeah, you got that good job, or you don't you want to get rid of your benefits. And, all these negative things where it just really has played in my head for years. When I finally decided to put me first and to focus on what makes me happy and what I can live with, whether or not pass, fail, win, lose, or draw. I feel like I am in control of my own destiny, and that feels so different. It hits different, So I encourage everybody just to find what makes you happy, what you feel like you can do for the rest of your life. And if you get paid for it, then that's a bonus. But you're doing it because you're living your life and living your own truth, and it's worth it. So please just go out there, do what you got to do. You'll find it if you search hard for it and you try hard enough for it. You will get there.
You should do what makes your soul happy. I say that all the time. You do what makes your soul happy. And if you are passionate enough about it, if you are truly invested in it, the money will follow.
It will.
You're not always going to instantly be making millions in the beginning. Eventually, the money will follow if you're passionate about it. And I think that's so true. I had a million people telling me to start the podcast, write the books, do the things. I'm building somebody else's empire right now. I don't have time. I've got these meetings. I don't have time. I've
That
got to
part.
fly to this place for somebody else. So I don't have
Yeah.
time. And it took me getting downsized from that job that was taking up all my time to do the things that I really wanted to do.
Mhm.
And so that is something that I say all the time. Just do it, right? It is.
Yeah.
It's a Nike commercial. Just do it. That's it. There could be no simpler phrase. But, for some folks, it's easier said than done. If it takes making baby steps, just do bits and pieces of it at a time if you have to.
Mhm.
But start working toward the goal if there is a goal that you want to work toward. This has been such a great conversation. I have absolutely enjoyed this. I love watching us grow and thrive and come into our own and building our communities. I want to thank you all so much for being here with me today on the Black Girl Loading podcast. When we talk about loading, this truly is it. I mean, we are all women who are in our late 40s, early 50s, and doing things that we want to do, following our vision, our path, our dreams, and building legacies for our children, building generational wealth and changing the way things have been done historically. And that is something to be said. That is loading. When we talk about Black girl loading, that is truly what it's all about. I am really proud of what you all have built, and I cannot wait to see where this goes.
What else? Because
I remember Tabitha Brown talked about that one day. She had written some things years ago about what she was ultimately going to do, and she's surpassed that in so many ways. Many of the things she wrote, she's done them and then some. And that's the power of what you speak. And that's why I say we speak all these things into existence. So if you say you want more facilities, you're going to get them. You speak all of that into existence. You wake up every day with that in your heart, no matter what kind of day you've had, you go to sleep with that in your heart. And that's so important. It really is,
Sure.
I say that to Riley. I speak that over her too. Our kids might be little, they might be young, but you speak that over them too. They see us doing it. Amir brought that up. Her kids know she's grinding. They see it. They know it, but they know mom is building something that ultimately they will own. That's their legacy. It's not just her business. It's their legacy too. That's something with you instill in them very early. I added Riley's names to these books. It's her story. Can she write? I mean, she signed those books. See if you can read her name in the inside. I mean, but they're her stories. It's her legacy. It's something that she can be proud of. And it's something I'm teaching her about and building a business. So these are things that we can do every day. And like you were saying, Kalitha, every day you start the process. You start writing things down. You start chipping away at little things. You tuck $5 away each paycheck if that's all you can do. And that's what you do. And you start to build. It's a process. And they're building blocks. We're all building. We're all loading at some point in our lives.
Yes.
So thank you once again. I appreciate you all. So everybody, I want you to join the conversation. Download us wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Substack. I want you to really, really pay attention. The ladies here today gave you some free jewelry, some great gems as you start to build your businesses. So please go out into the world, do great things. Join us next week as we will have 2 phenomenal moms who are raising sons with autism. And we're going to talk about raising Black children with neurodivergent disabilities and what that looks like in the Black community and in our educational system. So until next time, catch us on Black Girl Loading.
Hey guys.
Bye.